everyone, it's Sia here.
And Christella.
And we are from TIPI Cookbooks. We are going to show you today 12 different ways that you can clean your bowl. Shall we get started?
Yep.
Okay, so if you are milling any type of herbs, let's say I've got in this bowl here peppercorns, or if you're doing like sesame seeds or any other type of dried herbs, then you want to clean the bowl but without wetting it, because wetting it means you got to wet it and then you got to dry it and it's all too much fuss. You just want to move on to the next step. So we use a brush, any kind of pastry brush, and tip out whatever you're doing. Use the brush just to kind of get any excess, and then pretty much clean. You can move on to your next step. So that's tip 1.
Alright, number 2. So if your bowl's really dirty after like making a cake or something that's, you know, got a bit of colour or something in it, the best way to clean it is add a little bit of water, and you can also add a little bit of, you know, dishwasher soap if you want. Pop it back onto your base, and with your lid and your cup on as well, and then just turn the speed up just to as high as it goes. You only need to do it for a couple of seconds, and that will make it so much easier to clean. That's pretty much all come off the lid and all off the sides. So you tip that out, and you can see there's still a little bit of residue in there. Sometimes you get a completely clean bowl from that.
There's blue dye. I would do it again, or just rinse it again. Is that what you would do?
Well, if it's something like just a little bit on the bowl, I'd just...
Oh yeah, the brush, of course. That's my part. Yeah, so I would fill it up with water or use the brush in the sink. And this brush is really awesome. If you don't have one of these brushes, you need to get one. There's a lot of imitation products out there, but I think this one is the best because the bristles are really strong and they're quite good for getting in around the blade. So good for getting some excess residue like we had in that bowl with the blue dye, but I use it for everything. No matter what I'm doing in the bowl, this tends to get it off pretty much 9 times out of 10. Okay, but if it doesn't come off, we've got another tip for that. Next way to clean the bowl is...
Okay, so if you've got a really stubborn stain, what I do is before I ever use a lemon, I peel it, and I just keep little lemon peels in my freezer. It's really good just for so many things, but for today we're going to talk about using it to clean your bowl. Like, it's really good just to refresh your bowl, or if you have a stubborn stain, throw them in to your bowl. Let's do this one over here. So literally you just pop some in like that. Doesn't matter how many, just pop a couple in if you have any. Put a little bit of vinegar in, a bit of water, and then pop it on.
How much vinegar, how much water would you put?
I only put a dash of vinegar, and I just, depending on
white vinegar?
White vinegar.
And just pour.
Yep, just pour a little bit of a little bit in, and then just fill your bowl up. Depending how dirty your bowl is, just make sure you covered the dirty little part. You know, so it depends how far up the sides it is. But I do about a litre.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know on the bowl there's little lines that says half litre, a litre.
I do about a litre
too. So you go to the 1 litre line. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
And then pop it on for about 10 minutes, steaming temperature, speed 1. And then pour it out, and you should have a clean bowl. Any excess, once again, use your brush to get the little bits off.
So that's a lemon vinegar wash. Okay, so another way to clean the bowl is to simply put it in the dishwasher. So all of these parts are completely dishwasher safe, and you can put the whole bowl, the lid and the MC into the dishwasher and it will clean it that way. Or you can pull it apart. So pull out your base, pull out your blades and put them all in individually. That's totally fine too. Just make sure that you don't have kids or anyone, like if you do put the blades in like that, it's quite dangerous because they're very sharp. So if you do have kids that are emptying the dishwasher, perhaps it's better to hand wash it or to leave the blades attached to the bowl before putting it in the dishwasher.
So no matter what, whether you're washing it in the dishwasher or you're washing it in the sink, always make sure that these pins are dry before you put it onto the base, because that's what touches all the electronic parts.
Sometimes you'll find the lid might change colour. Maybe if you use an ingredient that has a lot of like really acidic, like a tomato paste, or if you're doing turmeric, that can sometimes change the colour of the lid. Now our tip is to put your lid into the sun. The sun will bring the colour back to its normal state. Easy.
Next tip. If you're making dough and you've got dough all over your blades, please don't use hot water. You'll turn it to glue. Just use cold water. It's so much easier to get it off.
Now, Christelle, you were telling me about flicking. Sometimes you can flick the dough off the blades.
Exactly.
To clean
So,
the blades.
if you know you've got your dough or you're making a cake or something, instead of wasting what's inside your bowl, pop it onto the base, turn your speed up maybe to speed 6, and let everything flick off the blades onto the side of the bowl, and then scrape out whatever that excess is. You could get a whole cupcake from that instead of wasting it, and it's so much easier to clean that way.
And sometimes I find that my food gets stuck to the base of the bowl.
Yep.
And I can't get it off with a normal scrubber.
Yeah, so I think the best tip for that is if you've got something really glued to the bottom, what I do is I use some baking soda, and I literally just tip a bit onto the, the stain. Then what I do is I grab either some vinegar or just something that will, that has the acid to activate it, some lemon or something like that. Pour it onto the baking soda and the stain and just let it bubble and activate. And then you can pour a bit of water on there and just leave it for maybe 10 minutes so it can, work its magic. And then just use your brush and scrape it off, and it should all come off a lot easier than sitting there and trying to scrub it.
So there was lemon, vinegar, or we've used apple cider vinegar with baking soda. Now, I've just learnt that baking soda tip today, but what I do at home normally is whenever I've got a gunk on the base and it's really hard to get off, sometimes I'll use this little sponge called White Magic, or it's named something else in your local grocery store or hardware store. This little white sponge, you put it on the hard to get stained, and it lifts off quite easily. So using that is another good tip to get stains off your bowl.
And I think the biggest tip that we could give you is no matter what, as soon as you finish using your bowl, just give it a rinse. It'll make it so much easier to clean it once you come back to wash it properly. So if you've dirtied it a little bit, you've got, herbs all around it, just make sure you rinse them off so they don't dry to the side of the bowl, because that is really hard to clean.